Just about 6 o'clock now on our Monday morning. Time change giving us some daylight a little sooner. People out on St. Pete Beach getting ready for the day. A beautiful start to our Monday morning, but chance of rain in the forecast, guys. A very small chance for an isolated shower as we go throughout the day. More likely north of I-4. Weather forecast not changing much through the week, but we'll have the details in just a few minutes.
We have one crash in downtown Tampa on 275. I'll get you an update here coming up, but it is a pretty quiet start to our morning. I'll have you out the door on time today.
All right, Hillary, a soulless individual. That's how one sheriff is describing the teenager accused of killing his mother. And the midterm elections now just a day away. And some of the biggest names in politics were out in force over the weekend, barnstorming across the country. They will continue to do that again today. We'll have updates on where everyone will be coming up a little bit later here on Brightside. Good morning, happy Monday. It is November the 5th. Brightside starts right now. Well, good morning and thanks for starting your day with us here on Brightside. The National Weather Service will be in the Tampa Bay area this morning, checking to see if there were more than 4 tornadoes during the storms on Friday afternoon. Funnel clouds were seen from Hernando all the way to Pinellas County. That system causing some serious damage too. Trees were uprooted, roofs ripped off homes. In many areas, electric crews spent the weekend getting the power back on. So Grant, I'm kind of wondering here, we know the National Weather Service is going to be here. They are going to confirm whether or not there were more than 4 tornadoes. What's their process? How do they do this?
So they're going to do a couple of things today. They're going to work with the emergency managers and get some of the damage reports and some of the more information that came out from over the weekend.
Right.
And then they'll go out and they'll survey that damage. They'll look at the damage, one, to determine if it was in fact a tornado, and two, for the ones that they know were tornadoes, they'll get a better idea of what the ratings were, what the wind speeds were for those tornadoes. So far, the National Weather Service has confirmed 4 tornadoes: Seminole, Newport Richey, Land O'Lakes, and in Spring Hill. So this is where those tornadoes have been confirmed across the Bay Area. They haven't confirmed the rating on every single one of these yet. And there's a process they go through. Once they've determined that it was a tornado, and they do that by looking at the damage, or they go by visual reports if someone actually saw the tornado. But looking at the damage, they have to be able to tell, okay, is it all going in one direction, which would have been straight line winds, or is the damage sort of strewn about, the twisting motion or the twisting of the damage that you would get from a tornado? From there, they use 28 different indicators to reference the extent of the damage. So depending on what has been damaged, they use these indicators. So if there was a small barn, they'll look at the damage of the small barn, and they have 28 of these. Specifically, what we saw a lot of was 1 to 2 family home damage from a lot of the roofs that had been ripped off. So from there, they go to those 1 to 2 family home indicators, and they say, okay, visible damage. Yeah, okay, if there's visible damage, then those wind speeds were at least 65 miles per hour. If they lost a roof or some of the covering material was less than 20%, then they can indicate or suggest that the wind speeds were 79 miles per hour. Broken glass to doors or windows, 96 miles per hour, so on and so forth. From there, they can determine if there was, in fact, a tornado and at what scale was there with that. EF1, EF2, it looks like we're going to see these tornadoes probably in the range of EF0 to EF1 scale. In the meantime, this morning, things much calmer than they were on Friday, finding variably cloudy conditions, more cloud cover to the north, a few isolated showers through Citrus County as well. Otherwise, mainly dry conditions as we go throughout the day today. Looking at temperatures warming quickly, though, into the middle 80s despite that cloud cover around. Partly sunny skies today, only a 20% chance of that isolated shower, and that would be more likely north of I-4.
It is 6:03. I'm Hillary Zala, and we have a new crash in Pinellas County through Tarpon Springs. So this one is on Pinellas Avenue, right at Park Street. So looking to the west of US 19, right near alternate 19 there. And there is a lane blocked right at the intersection. And our crash in downtown Tampa that I've been on top of for the past hour is here on 275 northbound at Ashley Drive. Off to the left shoulder. It was 2 pickup trucks involved. One of the pickups was able to drive away, and this other one is now on a tow truck here. You have the road ranger also on scene with a couple of cones just because traffic is starting to pick up. So please be careful through this area.
6:04 is now the time. This morning, a 15-year-old Central Florida teenager is behind bars accused of killing his mother. The suspect confessed to police that he killed his mother, Gail Clevelandinger, and then buried her body at a church. Detectives learned about the crime when the suspect called 911 on Friday after he got home from school. He claimed he arrived home to find his house had been robbed and his mother missing. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood says after the teenager was arrested, he wasted no time confessing to his crime.
When you watch him confess, it is just like, this is what I did. I walked in a room and it was very boom, 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 boom.
When deputies arrived, the suspect did have scratches on his face consistent with self-defense wound that seemed to be suspicious. The sheriff called the suspect a soulless individual and one of the top 3 sociopaths he has ever encountered. At this time, it's unclear if that teen will be charged as an adult. Also happening today, attorneys for Jonchuck will be back in court. Jonchuck's attorneys will be asking the judge for a copy of the videotape competency evaluations. If the judge approves that request, the state will have to turn those tapes over. Officers say Jonchuck killed his 5-year-old daughter Phoebe by throwing her off the Dick Meisner Bridge near the Skyway Bridge. Also happening today, a man convicted of robbing and beating a 66-year-old Pinellas County veteran in a Walmart parking lot 2 years ago will be sentenced. Prosecutors say Harold Stewart approached Jeffrey Hardiman asking him for the time. Then Stewart put Hardiman in a chokehold, threw him to the ground, and started punching him. Detectives say Stewart took off with $600. He faces 40 years in prison. All right, we are 25 hours away from the start of Election Day 2018 on Tuesday. The biggest names on both sides of the aisle are hitting the campaign trail. They've done so over the weekend. They'll continue to do so today. President Trump spending the weekend crisscrossing the country on behalf of Republican candidates up and down the ticket. His main focus, immigration, while the Democrats, led by former President Barack Obama, focusing on health care.
We're not letting these people invade our country. We want them to come in. We want them to come in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally.
When I was president, Republicans voted more than a dozen times to get rid of protections for pre-existing conditions. Last year, they fell just 1 vote short, and if they win on Tuesday, they might finally succeed.
Former President Obama was campaigning so much he was a little hoarse there at that event. The battle for control of Congress has dominated headlines for months now. But across the country, local elections are just as close. One of those races, the race for governor here in Florida, between Ron DeSantis and Andrew Gillum. This morning, Manuel Borquez will be in Tallahassee reporting live for CBS This Morning just after we get off the air at 7 a.m. And for any last-minute questions that you might have about the elections on Tuesday morning, you can go to our website, WTSP.com/EyeOnPolitics. We've got everything you need to know posted there. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We will be live election night, bringing you the results as they come in and breaking down the numbers with our political analysts, including St. Pete Mayor Rick Kreisman. He will be in our studios. We start broadcasting live at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. All right, Saturday will mark 1 month since Hurricane Michael hit the Florida Panhandle. It's hard to believe that a month has gone by already. And while the recovery effort continues there, engineers are going to be surveying Panama City Beach to see how much sand was lost during that storm. Now, early estimates show more than 1 million cubic yards of sand washed away entirely. That's the equivalent of 60,000 to 130,000 dump trucks full of sand. It's a lot of sand. Officials say the beach erosion could have been worse, but the storm surge wasn't as high as they originally predicted, so it could have been even worse there. And schools in South Alabama are getting a wave of new students from the Florida Panhandle. At least 63 students have enrolled in the Dothan City school system since Hurricane Michael. Another 17 enrolled in Houston County, Alabama schools there. The school district is now trying to make room for new students, and they're expecting more on the way very soon. Schools in Bay County will begin again next week. All right, this is kind of exciting here. There is an app in the works. It's already out there right now, and you can get it here in the Tampa Bay area, and it could make your life a whole lot easier, especially when it comes to mowing your lawn. Yes, Brightside's Jenny Dean is standing in front of our studios right now on Gandy Boulevard, where the lawn always looks good. Jenny, this app is going to help a whole lot of people.
Yes, Rob, it can help anyone like you. You can have all of this nicely manicured lawn even if you don't do it yourself. There are plenty of professionals that want to help you make your lawn look nice. And now all you have to do is look at your phone because you can find them all in one convenient space. The new app, it's not an unusual thing. There are a couple others, but the new one that's new to the Tampa Bay area is called Greenpal. And it's kind of like the Uber of Lawncare. You download it to your phone, then you type in your address, and then when you get someone, you'll get up to 5 bids to choose from. The vetted professionals then show up, they will mow, edge, and blow your lawn, and then you pay through the app. No money changes hands, which makes it nice, and it makes it all very simple. Mike Williams is a partner with Insignia Landscaping, and he was one of the first vendors to sign up with Greenpal.
The process for us, it's great. It's another networking tool for us to create revenue. With, they take a small percentage of the fee, but with that being said, we don't have to worry about collections. We don't have to worry about sending out payment. All the back-end office work is taken out of our hands, and they do all the advertising. They're doing everything that, and we benefit from it.
Now, all of the lawn care pros are vetted by Greenpal to make sure that they have good commercial equipment and do good work. Another plus, after they do your lawn, you can give them a service rating. That lets other homeowners know how reliable and thorough they really are. And it also means that some of the best lawn pros are going to be bidding to mow your lawn, giving you all the options in one spot instead of having to call all of those people yourself. Of course, as I mentioned, Greenpal is not alone. There are other on-demand landscape services like Plows and Mows, Lawn Starter, Lawn Mowing Online. You can find these on-demand places, but they all work a little bit different, so you might want to look into that and research that. I've put some information on our website. But in Florida, where the grass is always green, there seems to be plenty of work to go around, Rob. And I know we mow our own lawn and it does get overwhelming sometimes, so it would be nice to be able to just like call someone up that once in a while when you need help and have them come out and do your lawn. Do you do your own?
Yeah, I do. And in the summertime, you got to do it twice a week versus, kind of once a week as it gets a little bit cooler this time of year. But also, Jenny, let's be honest, sometimes you're not happy with the service you're getting from whoever does your lawn. And this app could be a great resource for a lot of people out there. All right, well, daylight saving time has come to an end, which means the sun is going to be rising even earlier, which means this time of year is one of the best times of year for getting that early morning workout in. There's Sean Stryker. He's bouncing around on St. Pete Beach. We'll check in with him in just a minute. Well, good morning, and thanks for being up with Brightside on this beautiful Monday morning. This shot courtesy of EarthCam. This is a look at Miami, or just not far from Miami. The sun rises a little bit earlier in the east, so everyone's up enjoying the early daylight now after daylight saving time yesterday. Welcome back to the show. I'm Rob Finnerty. Here's what's making headlines on this Monday morning. Today we expect to learn more about the man who opened fire in a yoga studio, killing 2 people on Friday. 40-year-old Scott Beerley injured 5 others before taking his own life. Officers are going over his social media profiles right now. We do know he was a substitute teacher in Volusia County. USA Today is reporting he earned a reputation among students for being lazy, detached, and strange. By the end of January, this Confederate statue will be moved from Lakeland's Munn Park. Lakeland City Commissioners agreed to use money from traffic violations to move the statue to Veterans Park.
Just looking at Miami, let's have a look at downtown St. Pete, where it is, I'd say, just as gorgeous, if not more, this morning. Finding that early morning sunrise, or at least the sunlight ahead of sunrise, which will happen in about 30 minutes or so. But it's a nice start to our day across Tampa Bay. A little warm, a little humid, but we'll take it, right? 74 degrees right now in St. Pete, 91% relative humidity, winds coming in out of the southeast around 7 miles per hour. Should be a pretty good day to get out on the water. We'll have a south wind around 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be at 2 feet. Just a light chop out on the bay today. The Gulf temperatures at 74 degrees. UV index only at 6. That's if we have sunshine. We'll have a mixture of sun and clouds across the area today. And with that, cloud cover temperatures will be a little slow to warm at first. 74 right now in Tampa. There's your 73 in St. Pete. Some low 70s to the east. Lakeland, you're at 72 degrees. 69 degrees in Northport. If we have cloud cover today, it's going to be more likely north of the I-4 corridor, and that goes with a chance of rain as well. Right now, finding more clouds to the north, some clearing to the south. Overall, finding mainly dry conditions, though. Just a couple of stray showers have been falling through Citrus County and the Nature Coast this morning. Most of us, though, will be rain-free to kick off our Monday. Big picture, got a warm front to the north. That warm front's what moved through yesterday. That brought back the humidity and a couple of showers. That front was to our south on Saturday, which is why we had the drier, more comfortable conditions. This warm front will stay to the north. That means we keep the warmth and the moisture around through a majority of the week. Futurecast shows you what to expect today, and that's not going to be much. If we do see any rain, it's going to be north of I-4. Otherwise, finding a mix of sun and clouds across the area today. It's going to be warm. It'll be muggy. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Tonight, we drop back down into the low and mid-70s. We'll keep more cloud cover to the north with the closer proximity to that warm front situated just to our north. Overall, tomorrow, though, mainly dry conditions once again, just a 10 to 20% chance for an isolated shower. So Election Day looking pretty good. 85 degrees tomorrow afternoon. 10% chance of rain across Tampa Bay. Areas north and Nature Coast, 20% chance of rain. Overall looking nice with partly cloudy skies. Today, about the same thing. 86, partly sunny conditions, 20% chance for a few stray showers here or there. 7-day forecast keeps temps in the mid-80s as we go through most of the week with a slightly better chance of rain on Thursday and then again on Sunday.
All right, we have a car fire that has shut down Fowler Avenue in Temple Terrace, right at I-75. So here's just all the activity going on. There was a lot of smoke blowing onto Fowler, but it looks like they have this car and the fire under control. I'm not seeing any flames anymore and just a little bit of smoke. But as you can see, emergency crews have shut down traffic here along Fowler Avenue, and it looks to be in the westbound direction. So this is just after the light, which is right up here. The interchanges onto I-75. So I would say take Fletcher Avenue instead, because this is really going to hold up traffic as we head into our morning commute here, and it doesn't look like they're anywhere close to getting this cleared up. Hopefully one lane will be able to open soon, though, but again, that's your best bet. Fletcher Avenue just to the north. You're already seeing a delay on Fowler Avenue coming from the USF area, so best bet again, Fletcher to get onto I-75. All right, we are definitely picking up for our rush hour. So not just that car fire, but just morning rush hour traffic really affecting us on this Monday morning. Check out southbound 275 is already getting very slow here at Bush Boulevard, just north of downtown Tampa. Your travel time is 15 minutes from the North Apex to I-4, which is still a normal drive time, but that will jump up to 20 minutes here very quickly. Manatee and Sarasota counties, no issues for you here. Bradenton is quiet, and so is I-75. And downtown Sarasota looking good as well, not seeing any issues for you.
All right, happening now. It's going to get lighter earlier now. Temperatures finally cooling off a little bit. We had some of that on Friday. Certainly Saturday. It was hot on Sunday, but it's a perfect time of year for an outside workout, especially early in the morning. And Brightside Sean Stryker is trying some high-intensity interval training right now. He's live this morning at North Shore Park in St. Pete. Sean, you've got to be sweating. You've been doing this now for like 2 hours.
Rob, I'm trying to smile just to look happy. I am happy on the inside, but it is definitely a hard workout. One thing I am smiling about, take a look at that. The sun will be coming up in just under 30 minutes. So whenever I start feeling tired, I just turn around, take a peek at that beautiful sunrise, and it re-energizes me. This is Julia. She is the owner of Total Body Results. You're the one running this workout. We're outside, we're working out. This is something you do quite frequently, and it actually has its benefits.
Absolutely, yes. Working outside versus working inside is an increase in your mood, anxiety, depression, a 60% increase. So it basically makes you happy.
It does, it makes me happy. I'm happy to be out here with you guys. Talk to me about what these ladies are working on behind us.
Absolutely. So we have the girls doing some really awesome core work. It's a side plank reach through, which really gets your obliques, that side ab muscle, as well as your arms. We do a lot of abs and core work. Angela's over here rocking some agility. She's doing some back pedaling, working the hamstrings, the posterior muscle groups, and agility burns fat.
So that's what you want to do. Agility, burn the fat, then you work on the core, then you look at the sunrise, then you breathe the fresh air, then you're happy and you're ready to start the day. And over here we were doing something which I guess initially I didn't realize how hard it was going to be. This works your back. They're called
TRX is great. It's a suspension trainer. It allows you to work body weight training.
Well, this is just my body weight. I definitely feel it. But we're getting our workout in. We're having a great time. We're outside, beautiful sunrise. Rob, I'll tell you what, just how great is that? This is this is probably the best gym I've ever worked out in. And I thank you, Julia. Thank you. We're almost done. We've been going for coming up on an hour straight, so I'm about ready to be finished.
Yeah. Hope you guys go out for coffee and donuts or something after that. You know, you've earned it now. I'll tell you what, that sunrise, if he was out there on Friday, it'd be in the total pitch black this time of morning.
That
so
extra
that's
hour
one good
helps
thing
out.
about the daylight saving.
Yeah, we switched back to standard time, so, so we get that extra hour. But, you know, sunsets are an hour earlier, too.
That's right. I'm still trying to figure out the clock in my car, by the way, this morning. I spent like 7 minutes.
Hillary can
trying
help
to-
you out.
trying
Yeah,
to-
I'll help you out.
Yeah, I need to get like an electrician or something. All right, when Brightside comes back, it was only a matter of time before bicycles got an electrical upgrade. All right, 6:25 on your Monday morning. Happy Monday. It's time for our Business Blast powered by Cheddar. Tim Stanovic is standing by live from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Tim, I understand that General Motors is now expanding beyond four wheels. So what are they up to?
That's right. Good morning from New York. So General Motors says it's getting ready to roll out 2 different electric bikes next year. One's going to be a compact bike and the other one will fold down. Check that out. The bikes don't yet have a name and GM is actually looking for naming submissions. The person who submits the winning name will win $10,000. Now this is just GM's latest move to push beyond vehicles and focus on alternative transportation, especially in urban areas like cities throughout the U.S.
All right, Tim, say goodbye maybe to the postal worker that you've known for all these years that's delivered your mail to your mailbox or your front door. The Postal Service could be changing. What are they doing?
So I don't know how quickly this could come about, but this is pretty cool. Autonomous delivery is now a reality, at least in some places. Starship Technologies, they say that hundreds of these robots will be available to deliver packages straight to your door. Now through an app, you're able to determine when and where packages are delivered to ensure that someone is home. The technology started as a food delivery service when it was tested in a number of cities around the world, including Washington, D.C. and Redwood City, California. Right now, though, they're only available in the UK, but package delivery will launch in the Bay Area before the end of the year. Now, I do say that I'm skeptical as to the timing of this because for as long as I've been a technology reporter, I've been reporting on these types of deliveries, delivery drones, delivery robots, and hey, postal worker still comes to my apartment.
Right, very, yeah, exactly, me too. Very important to note too, that's the San Francisco Bay Area, not the Tampa Bay Area, but just gonna be kind of weird to ever see those things.
Yes, exactly, San Francisco Bay Area.
I don't want somebody being like, whoa, geez, this is gonna change. Yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon, but who knows, maybe eventually, Tim, thank you.
Thank you, happy Monday.
All right. When Brightside comes back, an outgoing local congressman is giving his predictions on what's going to happen tomorrow.
Heads up, morning commuters, we have a closure here from a car fire. This is Fowler Avenue, right at that entrance ramp to I-75 in the Temple Terrace area. So you can see that eastbound lanes of Fowler are shut down, and it doesn't look like right now that traffic can get onto the highway. So I'll have a detour for you there coming up. And here's a live look at the Howard Franklin's Bridge as we start off our Monday morning commute. This is looking great. I'll get you drive times across your bridges coming up.
Time change means sunset was a little early yesterday evening. That means sunrise, though, is early as well. Getting ready for it in about 10 minutes. A live look from downtown St. Pete, starting off with a mix of sun and clouds. We'll talk about what's in store for the rest of the day in just a few minutes.
All right, Grant, speaking of early voting has already come to an end, but we're already seeing record numbers of Floridians casting their ballots.
Yes, and with voters' interest changing by the minute, I'm keeping a close eye on what's trending politically. Good morning, I'm Aubrey Jackson.
And I'm Rob Finnerty. Good morning to all of you out there. It is a Monday morning, November the 5th, day before Election Day. Brightside starts right now.
Just a little bit of cloud cover around the area this morning. We saw a few showers overnight. Most of that rain has dissipated, and that will make way for what should be a great start to our work week. Here's a live look at the satellite and radar loop over the last few hours. You can see a few of those showers have been lingering through the nature coast, and that's where we'll see that better chance of an isolated shower today. Partly sunny skies as we head out into the day today. At the bus stop, temperatures will be around 73 degrees. Sunrise at 6:44. Just a few clouds through lunchtime today. We'll keep a 20% chance of rain as we go through the afternoon into the ride home. Partly sunny skies for that ride home with temperatures right around 84 degrees later on today. Remember, the forecast is on the radio. If you listen to the Dove 105.5, the Eagle 107.3, Hitland 106.9 in Sarasota, and Magic 94.9.
We have a car fire on Fowler Avenue, and this is causing a major issue if you use Fowler to get onto I-75. You can see here that, well, there's the car that caught fire. Flames and smoke all gone, but now we have to clear the car away. And you can see that from this intersection just before the on-ramp that police are blocking that. So let's go live to Sky 10 just to get an aerial view of this. So you can see here that it looks like we have another car off into the median there. So lots going on here. If you use Fowler to get onto 75, your best bet is to use Fletcher Avenue. That is just to the north. Rob.
All right, Hillary, midterm elections happen tomorrow, but millions of people have already made their choices on ballots either through the mail or in early voting. And Brightside's Emerald Morrow is breaking down some of those numbers for us right now. Emerald, it's important because here, Florida, the third biggest state in the country, it's one of the most important states in this entire election.
Yeah, that's right. And everybody's going to be watching exactly what happens here because we've got some really big key races. And while more Republicans have voted than Democrats as of right now, there are thousands of independent or no party affiliated voters who could swing this election either way. So the question now becomes, who are all of these independent voters and which way are they leaning? Well, experts say they tend to be on the younger side and may lean more toward Democrats, but that may not mean anything just yet. A lot still rests on exactly who shows up and how they vote at the polls tomorrow.
A large number of registered young people that we have the ability to tip the election in one way or another. If they don't show up, Republicans have a good shot of winning. If they do show up in their strength, they could tip it towards Democrats. And that's why both parties are aggressively trying to make sure that younger voters who sort of lean in their direction, and there's all going after the NPAs, because they know that this mass of new voters can really make the difference in this midterm.
And taking a look at the numbers so far, close to 1,975,000 Republicans have either voted early or voted by mail. And that is just a slight edge over Democrats who cast close to 1,945,000 ballots ahead of the election tomorrow. So as you can see, this is a very, very tight race. And that's especially true when you throw in voters who don't affiliate with either party. They cast nearly 888,000 votes, so that's more than enough to swing the races either way for sure, Rob.
Wow.
And one of the best tips that I've heard is to make sure you fill out that sample ballot ahead of time.
Bring it with you?
Bring it with you so that you have it and you're not wasting time in the booth holding up the line for other people. You know exactly what you're going to put down.
And there's a lot of amendments on there. You can find them all on our website, WTSP.com as well. Emerald, we appreciate that. It's interesting. It's an off year, 10, 12, 14, 16, and now 18. We've seen so many people vote before Election Day itself.
It grows every single year.
Yeah, that trend continues. Thank you, Emerald. Remember, the polls open tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Reported on who is leading in the polls for weeks, even months now. But this morning we're hearing from outgoing Congressman Dennis Ross of Lakeland on who he thinks is going to win tomorrow. It's especially interesting to note because Ross is a member of the leadership in the House. Take a listen. The entire country is going to be looking at a few races around the country. Two of them are right here. What do you think happens? Let's start with the governor's race.
It's a really close one to call. It's off year. You're not going to see the turnout that we normally see. We've seen, I think, a great deal of Republicans vote early, which is good for the Republicans. I think it's good for Ron. I think it's good for Rick. But Election Day will determine everything, and I can't call it.
Rick Scott and Bill Nelson. That's another one.
It's amazing, you know. And
what do you think?
I think Rick takes this one. I really do.
All right, so Rick Scott wins the Senate and the governor's race. Too close to call, according to Congressman Dennis Ross. 24 and a half hours, that is the time we have before the polls open. The candidates are not wasting any time at all. Today, Republican candidate for governor Ron DeSantis will be in Clearwater. He's going to be joined by Senator Marco Rubio and President Trump's daughter-in-law, Laura Trump. They will be at the Quaker Steak and Lube at 4 o'clock. He will then head to Fort Walton Beach. That is up in the Panhandle. Meantime, Democratic challenger Andrew Gillum will be wrapping up his campaign bus tour today, making stops in the Panhandle. But later tonight, he'll be getting some celebrity star power on stage with him. Sean Diddy Combs, DJ Khalid, and comedian Tiffany Haddish, as well as singer Monica, will all be making an appearance at the Midnight Rally concert. That'll happen in the capital of Tallahassee. Back here in the Bay Area, Next Gen Florida is hosting a voting drive called Pizza for Voting Procrastinators at USF. The group is reminding students that Tuesday is Election Day and their last chance to vote in the midterm elections. NestGen Florida registered nearly 2,000 USF students this year alone. And today, students and parents at all Hillsborough County public schools will be greeted with banners like this one right here. It shows how a half-penny sales tax in Hillsborough County will help each of their schools. Hillsborough County voters will vote on that tomorrow as well. These banners were donated by the Hillsborough Education Foundation. Aubrey?
Really interesting stuff there, Rob. Now, I'm keeping a close eye on what's trending politically ahead of the midterms. And what's really interesting is seeing the voters' interest change in real time. Take a look. Remember on Monday, we saw this map showing Rick Scott as the most searched candidate for U.S. Senate. Now, with Bill Nelson as a top search in places like Hardee and DeSoto County. And then over on the governor's race side, Ron DeSantis was most searched in Liberty and Lafayette County. Gillum in blue was a top search statewide. So you remember all of that from Monday. Today, game changer. Today we're seeing Bill Nelson as a top search in more counties on the map, but Rick Scott still widely searched statewide. Google Trends shows the map as all blue for Gillum. Do you see that? Being the most searched candidate right now. Still a little bit there for with the red, but mostly hands down going over for Gillum. And then for the most searched topics in the past week, Google Trends had healthcare in gray and immigration in the red as top 2, and abortion was the most searched in Holmes County. That was just on Monday. But when you flip it over to today, abortion is still in the same position right now when it comes to search interest, but the new map shows healthcare is a top search across the state, along with immigration right there behind on its heels. So really interesting stuff to see there in real time. Right?
Yeah,
that's what's so cool.
That's so fascinating. Healthcare again leading the entire Bay Area.
Hands down.
All right, thank you, Aubrey. Well, she's breaking records left and right, proving she is the GOAT of gymnastics.
Feeling grateful to be able to see this gorgeous sunrise shot on Brightside as we fell back to standard time over the weekend. Looking great here across the Sunshine Skyway Bridge with those pink skies. I'll have a full report of all of your bridges and the rest of your traffic update coming up.
All right, Hillary, good morning. Welcome back to Brightside. I'm Rob Finnerty. Here's what you need to know as you head out the door on this Monday morning. Today, the body of a Utah mayor killed in Afghanistan will be returned to the U.S. Mayor Brent Taylor was in Afghanistan serving in the National Guard. The 39-year-old major was shot and killed in what officials are now calling an insider attack. It happened on Saturday. He's survived by his wife and 7 children. So sad. Today, the 13-year-old boy that is accused of shooting a classmate and a teacher at an Indianapolis school will be in court. The teen is expected to admit to carrying out that shooting in May. The name of the teen is being withheld because he's being charged as a minor.
We need to send out a 10 News alert about the sunrise alert that we've got going on this morning. With the change of the time change, that's what I'm trying to say, with the time change yesterday morning, we get that sunrise earlier, sunsets earlier too, more on that in just a second, but a beautiful sunrise this morning. This is from the roof of 10 News, looking to the south and east, gorgeous skies, nice transition of colors there, and how about this view from North Shore Park in St. Pete, beautiful conditions. How'd you like to anchor your boat right there? Just watch the sunrise. Beautiful skies this morning. Great start to the day. Temperatures around 74 degrees, a dew point of 71. So it is a little humid, relative humidity now at 91%. Sunrise is at 6:44. Temperatures will be in the low 70s, and it should be a gorgeous sunrise across the area. But yeah, the sunset was a little earlier, with the sunrise a little earlier too. But have a look at this. Daylight continues to decrease as we head through the next several weeks. Today we'll get 10 hours and 58 minutes of daylight. In 6 weeks, we'll have 10 hours and 22 minutes of daylight. We won't actually see our daylight begin to increase again until December 23rd. So 48 more days of decreasing daylight, and then eventually the daylight will begin to increase once again. Temperatures, though, warm this morning. We're hanging out in the low to mid-70s across the Bay Area. A few 60s on the board. Wauchula, you're at 68 degrees, 69 in Northport, 73 St. Pete, 74 degrees in Tampa. We're keeping an eye north of Tampa Bay for a few stray showers today, most of which will just be a stray shower or two, only a 20% chance of rain. Watch the futurecast as we go through the day today, and you'll see really not a lot of green showing up on the radar today. So mainly dry conditions. We'll call it partly sunny this afternoon, a little more clearing to the south of Tampa Bay. Into the day tomorrow, a 20% chance of rain along and north of the I-4 corridor. But again, mainly dry conditions with more cloud cover to the north and more sunshine to the south. Allergy forecast doesn't give us much change either. Low, medium pollen counts as we head through most of the week. Still that ragweed, elm, and grass pollen that's flying around. Temperature is a little warmer than average today. 80 is our normal. 86 is where we'll be with that 20% chance for just an isolated shower. Again, north of Tampa is where we find most of that rain. Sunset this evening. It's early, right? 5:43. Sunset later this evening. Here's our 7-day forecast. 85 degrees tomorrow for Election Day with a very small chance of rain, 10% at best tomorrow. 85 degrees on Wednesday. We'll see a 30% chance for a few showers on Thursday, and then turning slightly cooler as we go into the weekend.
All right, let's get a look at traffic now, where we have yet another car fire reported. First of all, an update for you on this one that had shut down eastbound Fowler Avenue at 75. Everything just opened, so you're good to go here on Fowler, although you are still seeing a bit of an eastbound delay approaching the interchange, but no need to take that Fletcher Avenue detour. And let's go live to Sky 10 just to see how traffic is flowing after this. So first of all, here's the car that caught fire. At one point, there was so much smoke that it really wasn't safe to drive on Fowler, which is why Tampa Police and Florida Highway Patrol shut it down. But you can see here that no one was injured, and it looks like the drivers of the car are standing there with officers. So all good here. Now, back to our maps, because we have yet another vehicle fire, and this one is in eastern Polk County along eastbound I-4 right at County Road 557. You can see a major delay here and lots of smoke as well. Traffic is backed up for at least about a mile and a half with speeds down to 3 miles per hour. So please give yourself time. If you're going from Lakeland and heading east towards Orlando, if that's part of your morning commute, you will be delayed just a little bit. Back to Hillsborough County and Pinellas County is where your bridges this morning are starting to pick up. So the Gandy Bridge and the Howard Franklin Bridge are the ones that I really want you to pay attention to here, because the Gandy is slow right when you get off towards West Shore, and that's slowing down the bridge just a little bit. The Howard Franklin is now at about 8 minutes to cross, which is about a 2-minute delay already, and that slowdown is right there at that Kennedy Boulevard exit. The Courtney Campbell Causeway luckily holds on to a 7-minute travel time. Rob?
All right, Hillary, thank you. This one is a toughie. I'm so tired of this right now, but it's tough in football, in the NFL especially, when you're down by 28 points at halftime, and that's the hole the Bucs dug themselves yesterday against the Carolina Panthers in the city of Charlotte. The Bucs did make it interesting. They've done this multiple times throughout the season. Fitzmagic, not enough. They would fall to the Panthers. 42-28 was the final score. Ryan Fitzpatrick threw for 4 touchdowns in the game, but he also had 2 interceptions. Ultimately, once again, the game came down to the Bucs defense. Get this. The Bucs lead the league in points allowed. We looked it up. They're on pace to break the NFL record in points allowed over a 16-game season. The Bucs will host the NFC East leading Washington Redskins on Sunday at 1 o'clock. So they're 3-5 now, obviously.
Okay,
They've got
Panthers.
basically, now they're in a must-win situation from here on out. If they
Yeah.
win out, they'll go 11-5 and maybe have a playoff spot, but it's not looking good for the Bucs. Let's
No
talk
pressure.
about gymnastics now. Did you see this over the weekend?
Yes,
This is
I saw this.
unreal.
I love
Simone
this.
Biles once again showing why she might just be the greatest gymnast, not now, of all time. She captured her 4th overall world title. That's more than any other woman.
Absolutely. So overall, she has won 6 medals during the championship, including 4 gold. All this after competing throughout the tournament with a kidney stone. She
Wow.
couldn't use drugs to break up the stone because of doping regulations. So people were quick to commend Biles on her win. Shakar tweeted, "Biles may be the greatest gymnast ever. It's amazing how some people are so focused and in love with their goals that their achievements sound superhuman to the rest of us." And Emily, she also tweets, "Not first woman, not first African American woman, first American ever. Let that sink in."
Yeah,
Wow,
good point.
incredible. All of that to say, Simone Biles, you are the greatest of all time.
And then last night, the greatest quarterback of all time, one Thomas Brady.
Yes.
They beat the Packers in Sunday Night Football. So we had a lot of goats.
It's just a lot of, yeah,
Over the weekend. Got a whole
everybody's
farm
out there.
of creatures. All right, coming up next here on Brightside, there's a holiday for just about anything. Today's holiday is dedicated to all the redheads out there. Yeah.
come and look at your screen.
Whew, wow.
Good morning, Monday. Glad to have that sun up an hour early this morning. You're looking live from North Shore Park in St. Pete. We're glad the sun's up this morning. We're glad you're up with us this morning as we get the week started. A beautiful start to our Monday.
Gorgeous shot there.
Isn't that
Grant.
nice?
Well, one more day until the midterm elections, and once again, Florida has positioned itself as a barometer for nationwide voting trends as candidates make a final push for votes. Bianna Goladrigas in New York. Bianna, good morning.
Hey Rob, happy Monday to you. Ahead on CBS this morning, we'll begin with the eye-opener, your world in 90 seconds. Plus, on the eve of the election, we have a team of correspondents across the country covering the key midterm races. We'll break down the issues driving voters to the polls. And only on CBS this morning, we look at the Department of Homeland Security's Election Day War Room and how the government is preparing to deal with cyber threats. Also, a potential breakthrough for kids suffering from a rare polio-like disease. Meet the doctor giving AFM patients a much-needed second chance. We got some good news there, hopefully, on that front. We will see you at 7.
Thank you. It turns out there's a national day really for everything. So today, November 5th, is dedicated to all the redheads out there. And we have to look around our studios. We've got like 20 people in here right now. No redheads.
Right.
I wanted to get the camera on a redhead. But we found some interesting things about redheads that you might not be aware of. Okay, so the place where most redheads live, anyone? Anyone?
Ireland.
It is not Ireland.
Oh.
It's Scotland.
Scotland?
Yeah,
Close enough.
yeah. 13% of the world's redheads live in Scotland. Ireland comes next at 10%. Only 2% of the world population has red hair. Another interesting fact, redheads usually have a lower pain tolerance because of a gene mutation. It's what gives them their fiery locks, and it's also the same gene linked to pain receptors, which is kind of a drag.
Really interesting.
I didn't know that. If you're a redhead watching, take note of that.
Yeah, we wanted to show you some of the most famous, world's famous redheads. You have Ed Sheeran, Julianne Moore, Rupert Jen, Emma Stone, Prince Harry, my fave, Molly Ringwald, Susan Sarandon, Isla Fisher, and even Elmo.
Elmo, yes.
Very cool.
Where's Elmo? I want to see Elmo's
I
picture.
know, it's like,
there he is.
There
All right.
Kind of got red everything. Elmo.
Yeah.
It's,
Very cool.
Can't leave out Elmo.
Grant, Monday morning, new week. What are we looking at out there? I was saying red hair color. Just save me from it.
Right.
Elmo.
Let's look at the 7-day guys. Temperatures this afternoon around 86, just a 20% chance for an isolated shower, more likely north of Tampa Bay immediately. Tomorrow, Election Day, is going to be a big day. Weather-wise, won't be a problem. We'll see a very small chance for a stray shower. I'm not even going to put that on the 7-day because it's honestly minimal. 85 tomorrow. We'll keep temps in the mid-80s all week long with a small chance of rain returning from Thursday into the weekend.
And we have a final live look from Sky 10. This is 75 right near MLK Boulevard in Tampa. And check it out, 75 looking pretty good, both north and south. And what's been awesome is being able to drive to work and seeing the sunrise at the same time.
It's a nice thing.
Nice.
Yes.
Can't beat that.
All right.
That was really good.
I like that, though. You know, my car is, so I have a Jeep. Like just standard American-made car, right? I cannot change the clock. I have no idea how to do it.
Oh, no.
We're going to have to go out to your car and guide you through this.
Literally,
Yeah, teamwork.
I need to go to the dealership, which I think I have done before.
What?
Well, you know how it takes you a minute to figure out like the microwave or the oven at home.
Yeah.
But like the car, just every time. I'm like,
you're
should
only-
I just wait 6 months?
You're only changing it, my dad does that.
Right.
You're only changing it twice a year, so it's not
Right.
something you always remember of how to do it.
The key is to do it when
Just
you're not
remember
driving.
it's
though.
not-
You
Right.
know,
Yeah,
do it when
please
you're sitting in
don't.
your driveway.
Yeah.
Right.
Not when you're going down 275 or
Doing
something.
it about
like that.
1:45 a.m.
Or
this
that,
morning.
right.
Yeah. No, I was parked. Good. All right, have a great day. Final day before Election Day tomorrow. Stay here on 10 News for 10 News Midday.